Give me some context for this business. I know Ben could do it, but I'm sure you've got a different view of where these guys sit in the space, if you will.
Well, right now, I think it's fair to say we're all kind of waiting on new regulations that'll allow this to happen. FAA's kind of opened the door. There are thousands, tens of thousands of people are now in this commercial space, but it's very limited. You can't fly over people. You can't do that kind of autonomous flight that we're just talking about. And so it's still kind of a work in progress.
I was on vacation recently, and there were a bunch of tech geeks around, as happens, and there were so many drones and so many different kinds of drones. And it strikes me that this business, Ben, is going forward whether the regulation is going to be there or not.
Well, there are already, as I said a moment ago, millions of drones operating today. Most of the use cases today are around aerial photography and videography. That started with people having fun, taking pictures and photos of their friends surfing or mountain biking or whatnot, and now moving to the enterprise, things like industrial inspection, cell phone towers, flame stacks at refineries, and so forth. There are myriad use cases that are already underway legally and safely.
I wonder, Ben, further, if you see that there are going to be successful businesses making drones. It seems to me that the making of drones is a commodity business, but on the other hand, I saw this company, Vantage Robotics, recently, and their Snap drone that was really cool, and it was, it seemed to be head and shoulders above, again, no pun intended, but there it is, head and shoulders above a lot of competitors in terms of things like safety and ability to reassemble it once it crashes.
Yeah, a lot of people say that the hardware business is a commodity. I actually think that building a drone is a very, very complex integrated device. You have to be really good at batteries. You got to be really good at flight control systems. You got to be really good at motors and propellers, control links, video links. It's a very complex integrated device, and there's not too many companies around the world that can do it very well.
Yeah, I wonder further, Alan, when you look at this, I mean, is the regulatory environment are they still sort of stuck arguing the stuff they started talking about 2 years ago, or are new issues coming up and they're having to sort of fold that into what their guidance is meant to be?
Well, I think we're well along from where we were 2 years ago. At that time, the industry was very frustrated about the slow pace. In the last year, you've seen this real explosion of new rules, kind of expanding uses. But the trick is, what the industry really wants to do is to fly long distances, to allow sort of robotic or autonomous flights, and then to fly over people. And the drone you just mentioned is sort of a good step on how to get there. If you can create a drone that sort of breaks apart if it hits the ground or a person, and therefore doesn't hurt them, that's the sort of technology they're looking for to try to expand this.
So you've seen this Snap drone, Alan?
I've heard it described.
Okay. Do you have one? A drone?
No, I do not. And in fact, D.C., where I live, they're not permitted anywhere near this area because of security concerns.
Wait, our drone reporter doesn't have a drone? Oh man, we gotta get you to come visit.
I'm ashamed. I'm sorry.
I didn't mean to call you out in public here, but no, that just speaks to it, Ben. Right? I mean, that's kind of the problem you're trying to solve here, right? Is the management of multiple drones when they seem sort of unmanageable.
Yeah, I think that there are practical solutions to a lot of these problems. One of the issues that was identified in trying to get drones to fly over people is that the law enforcement community was concerned that they may not be able to identify the operator of that drone remotely. There are some relatively simple solutions to that. They're available in different right-sized chunks depending upon the type and scenario of the operation. And I think once the industry can get around standards for those solutions and persuade the regulators that this is a safe way to operate, we'll be there. And I'm expecting that this rule will be evolved in the summertime, and we'll start to see more flights over people.
And Ben, just 30 seconds. Besides the fact that you are awesome and that AirMap is awesome, what does it mean that Microsoft and Qualcomm are invested with you?
Well, Microsoft is clearly a leading technology company in the world, especially around cloud computing, data, enterprise services. Qualcomm is looking at extending its mobile phone SoC into the autonomous drone. And so we're very excited to work with these technology partners to help bring about the future of unmanned aircraft in everybody's daily lives.